All right, our favorite search number 4. I would say this is probably our number 1 favorite search that we really like to go after. We've had much success for ourselves. We've had great success for our clients with this, and we believe this is kind of a niche that a lot of people don't quite go after. Like I said in previous videos, everybody goes after foreclosures. All investors kind of go after absentee. Totally different types of people. We like to go after homeowners that have liens, especially tax liens. Now, other liens work, those are good targets too, but it really depends on how much the lien is or how much is on the lien. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and pick San Diego County where we're at. Going after tax, it's very easy. The type of marketing would be the same type of marketing. The thing with tax liens, though, is people might not know that they have a lien on the property. So it might, some people they know right away, or they can be quick to sell. Some people might be several months, many months, but they're definitely the type of people to be to stay on top of mind. But they're very easy to get to or to find with Propstream. Again, we're just going to go through the motion. Owner occupied. Yeah, I'm going to go with owner occupied. I would say after we go through the default filters of a tax lien, then maybe see if there's any absentee tax lien people. But property characteristics, usually we would keep them separate and have 2 separate lists, just so we know what type of marketing we're doing and kind of really split test. We like to split test data as well too. So like again, having tax liens, I'd really do one list, marketing list that's tax, liens for single family, and then another list that's for condos. Deploy mailers, have different call around numbers, so then that way I can see where I'm getting the most traction from or the most leads from, so then I really would know how to target, especially if there's a large amount of properties in both single family and condo that have liens, just so I at least know where I'm getting the most traction from, the most leads from. But for examples, I'm just going to put both. MLS, force off market. Ownership info, individual owner type, and then go to liens. And of course, you'd have to put, if you want all liens, just put has a lien. As we can see, there's 22,000. There's a lot here. I like tax liens. For an example to show you, let's say you want to go after all liens. If you're going to go after all liens, because you can see here, they're going to be a mechanics lien, utility lien, HOA lien. Usually these liens, they're small, and if it's a small amount of liens, it still shows a sign that they're in financial trouble. They might not be able to afford it, but if it's a small lien, they might be able to pay it off quickly or get a loan to help pay it off, or find family members that can help out. So if you're going to search all liens, and we see that there's 22,000 people with all types of liens, I would then filter with equity. And also how long they've owned the home. But then I would also filter, my first filter would then be the lien amount. So let's put 2,000. So that brings it down to 97,000. So there's a lot of people with liens in San Diego, a lot more than I realized. So I'm going to put a very large amount, so 8,000. All right, that brings it to 5,300 people. Man, let's keep going bigger. Let's go. That'd be, so right here, that would be a very large amount for someone to really have a hard time paying off, especially for all types of liens. Let's just keep going up. 15,000, got 3,650. Okay, let's stop there, because that's a large enough lien for someone to want to sell and to have a hard time to come up with that cash to pay it off. I would say let's go and share out the filtering with the equity. Let's start with 30% equity. All right, let's go up to 50. Okay, right here, we're at 1,444 people that have, $15,000 lien, and they have 50% equity in their home. This would be a very good list to pull and start deploying. I actually really like this list. Another thing you do is maybe let's go back to 30% equity. Let's go up to ownership info, and let's just make sure they've owned it for 3 years. All right, so we got 2,300 there. Yeah, I want to make sure they have it for 3 years, because if they own it for a year or two, they might actually fight and try to figure out a way to keep it or pay off the lien. If they own it for a few years, they might have made some, well, obviously if they've owned the home for 3 years here in San Diego, they've made some equity, so they might just take it, sell quick and run. Let's go back and put 50 again. All right, 1330. I think right here, this is a great list. This is a great list to go after, especially here in San Diego. You can do the same filtering wherever you're at, but literally a lien amount, if they owe 15,000 or more, already have 50% equity in it. Especially if they own the home for 3 years, knowing what the market's been like these last few years, they definitely gained some equity, and it wouldn't hurt for them to, I definitely feel like they would have no problem selling it quick and getting out. Especially, because I know this market so well, there's been a lot of, with not much room to build, home prices have gone up, but the only, construction that's been going on is mostly apartment complexes. And so renting is cheaper right now. So I feel like they would have no problem selling their home, taking the equity they made in the last 3 years. Obviously, that was the minimum. So obviously, if they own it more, and then taking and bouncing and not dealing with that. So this would be a very good list. We love going after liens. It works very well, but I'm going to go ahead and kind of clear that. If I'm going to get a little bit more granular, then I want to go after not just anyone with a lien, but tax liens. Because of all the liens, that's going to be the heftiest on a homeowner. Even with, look at this, even with the tax lien, with the minimum amount, 15,000. Remember, this is a minimum amount, so some of these could be way more. That's 2,300. Let's go back to equity. Let's just put 30 and see where it comes out to. 1,700. Let's go back to 50. 950. So we can tell before when I was switching from all liens to tax. I think it was like 1,300. So it looks like maybe around 350, 400 homes were non-tax. So a lot of tax liens in San Diego. This would be a very good list to go after. So that is one of our favorite lists to really kind of target and go after, is just homeowners with liens. We believe there's less competition targeting those people. Again, you can't tell. The homeowner might want to sell quickly. They might not even know if they have a lien, so it might take several months, but this is a very good list, kind of niche to go after, especially with the power of Propstream to really filter out some of these people. Who knows? Let's see if we can even get even more granular. These are owner-occupied people with a lien. Let's see if there's any absentee owners. All we have to do is just quickly switch. So look at that. There are absentee owners with the tax lien that owe $15,000 or more, 348. Now this would be a list I would start calling. Upload emoji. I would do letters. I would do the envelope letters, do a ringless voicemail, do Facebook ads. I would even do the Google network ads. I would even do YouTube. I would do everything. I would deploy all marketing that I can deploy for this list. This would be very good, especially with this 348, and you can cold call them as well. But again, even if you just go down to 10,000, absentee with liens 459. Let's even see. Let's go back to ownership info. Let's just see if there's any out of state with the liens. All right, 71. I would say this as a separate search and a separate marketing list. This would be a list I would cold call. I would do letters. I would not do ringless voicemail. I would cold call or get a VA to cold call or use a calling service to cold call these 71. These would be ones, I believe these would be people that would definitely sell. Out of state, with a lien, with a very large lien, 10,000 or more, 50% equity. This would definitely be a hot list to go after. So there you go. As you can see, we love going after liens, and this is the different filtering we would play with to really find different lists and just play around. When you do go through a filter, save it as a search, save it as a list. Go through some filtering again, save it as another list, and then go back into your list, into your properties, and then from here, go through, filter your list, and really kind of play with the data, look at the data, and then based off your marketing budget, figure out exactly where you want to go after at the very end of it. So hopefully this is helpful. Have some fun. Go after those lanes. Very good niche to go after.